Howdy, howdy, it is me, Howdy. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I just spent mine playing Shrouds produced, I guess the term we'd use for here, Spectre Divide. It's kind of a unique twist on the CSGO, Valorant, take bomb, plant it, defend from bomb formula, going down from, the biggest change is it's going down from a 5v5 all the way down to a 3v3 with the little twist of each player actually has two bodies. I think they use the term duality here to explain that the gameplay mechanic, but you do get to freely swap between these two bodies. Obviously, one body dies, you just swap the other one, you're stuck on that single body, which makes the 3v3, you could argue, a 6v6 in a way. I genuinely like it. I think it was ambitious, and I honestly think they nailed it. It feels smooth already. You kind of know what you're doing. It's got that learning curve because if you're trying to play two sides of the map and you want to get your other body to the other side of the map, you have to throw your puck and you gotta wait. It's not as, obviously it's faster than your body walking there, but it still has a delay depending on the distance between the two bodies, which is, I know one's called the Spectre. I don't know what the other one's called. I think it's just Spectres. Just your Spectres. It's just, it takes how long it takes your Spectre to get to where your other Spectre is. They do have these little pads, these little green squares on the map that are like, seems to be instant transfers to kind of help that quick, oh shit, we gotta retake site. I like that it took a play out of the Valorant book where all the guns, at least for this current alpha, beta, whatever version you want to call this, it does seem the guns are all attackers and defenders have the same set of guns, which is another way where it diverts itself. You have to buy two guns each time, and it's a set pair. You cannot freely buy guns in this game, so you can't just buy the one gun for both bodies every round. You have to buy gun A and gun B, or gun A and gun C, or gun B, gun C. It's just how, that's how they do it. I think it's to kind of help prevent crutches, like how in CS2 and Valorant you have op crutches, AK crutches, stuff like that. I do like that you get the same gun pool between attackers and defenders. It doesn't swap out the M4 for the AK, stuff like that. There are like utility abilities in this game, much like Valorant, almost basically just like Valorant. But the thing is, though, you're not picking a character, you're actually picking a sponsor, which is a company that gives you your three abilities, which is usually a grenade, a tactical, and then some kind of like CC. It kind of seems to be the general gist. There are like your healer bots, there are your CC bots, there's your, you know, your smokes, your just straight up grenades. I think it's pretty wide diverse, and it's not as flashy as Valorant, which is a compliment. I do like that the smoke is just a smoke. Then the other, there's two, I've only seen two smokes. One is just a black smoke, the other one's a yellow smoke that damages you. Pretty same and simple. Cluster grenade, pretty plain and simple. There's a couple unique things, like there's a radar dot that's kind of like Sova's arrow from Valorant, sends 3 pulse waves. It's pretty straightforward. I do like that it's not flashy, so you don't have to have the stimulus overload. It's pretty, I'm gonna say straightforward again. I think it's pretty solid. I'm liking it a lot. The gunplay is like, it's early. I I say that, but I think if they would release this to the public today, I think it would go over fine. I think it's solid. The game works. It's honestly in a pretty similar state to what Valorant's beta was back when that was a Twitch drop back in 20, like what, 4 years ago? And Valorant moved up pretty quick, and I feel like this game might as well. There's a lot of, like I said, you don't have a character, you actually have your player that you customize. You actually have two players you customize. So I'm really excited to see where the cosmetics and the monetization take it, like from mass, outfits, all that good stuff. Obviously, the gun skins are going to be there, the knife skins are going to be there. I'm assuming they're going to go more towards the Valorant style, where it's just buy a pack. Counter-Strike's case is just outdated. If anyone tried to do a loot box style case opening gacha, it's just not going to go over well, so it's smart to stick it to the Valorant style, which is very true and just accepted, even though I think Valorant skins are horrendously overpriced. I hate the quality of Valorant skins. I think it's terrible, and I hate that we support it so much. It's so bad. It's so bad. Valorant in many ways makes me so angry, but yeah, in the state that it is now, I think it's, I would honestly say public beta state. I think it's got a lot of content. It's got six or eight sponsors you can pick from. It's got a crap ton of guns. There's a little bit of balance issue. Like the LMGs are pretty straightforward, and LMG is like early Valorant LMGs where it's just super strong. If you're not feeling any of the ARs or snipers, just buy the LMGs. They work perfectly fine. The pistols, pretty straightforward. It's one of those formulas that, and I like that they're not trying to reinvent the formula. They're trying to add their twist to it, which I think is what this genre needs. Because the three, CSGO, Siege, and Valorant, are kind of not even really competing with each other anymore. And I think adding that new mix, you know, take that subsection, take like 10-20% from each player base, give somewhere new to go, can really rejuvenize the production of those other games, especially now with games like Siege, which is really starting to get to the end game of its lifespan. And I'm assuming the next 4 or 5 years we're going to see like a Siege 2 or just whatever the predecessor, that's the word I'm looking for, of Siege. We'll probably see that pretty shortly. Valorant's obviously still super young. CS2 is new. I mean, it's Counter-Strike, but you don't really need to change Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike is Counter-Strike. It's great. Everyone loves Counter-Strike. I think they, like I said, I think they could release it today and it'd be just fine. The only complaints I have is just it's not a lot of life. And I had this complaint with the Valorant beta as well. The maps are very early. They're very muted. I think the maps use a little bit more flair. Not the abilities can stay where they are. I think the abilities look great. I think the abilities match fine. I think the maps need a little bit more flair, a little bit of touch here, a little bit more of a color palette. Maybe perfect. And I think if the style that they're going for is this muted, just straight to the point, again, I still think it works. But if I could suggest something, add a little bit of flair there. Add some like sponsor like posters, add like themes to each map, stuff like that. But yeah, you could definitely see Shroud being part of it. Makes me really excited to see the changes that go forward, because Shroud is like the FPS guy, especially when it comes to these tactical shooters and other games like that. So Shroud's input can definitely be seen here. I think going from another big change from the other tactical shooters is you don't have to stop and shoot. I do believe you benefit from it slightly, but it's not, you're not going to lose a gunfight because you didn't stop and shoot, crouch and shoot, stuff like that. You do have that little bit of more of a hint of a running gun, which I think is going to be hard to balance, and I would like to see the time to kill raise just a smidge. I want to see like maybe 2 more bullets, and I think it'd feel really well, especially since you are going to have the ADS walking, running, gunning gameplay pretty quickly catch on, because that's just what it is. The gameplay is you ADS walk, because you slow walk, you quiet walk, and your recoil or your control or whatever owns in when you're ADS. Hip firing is not really a thing right now, which is fine, but it's really hard to balance. I don't know. It's gonna be weird to see. It's weird to see. I'm gonna stop rambling right now. Have you guys gotten into this alpha beta build? Please let me know down below if you have. I would love to hear your thoughts, especially with how early it is. Would you be okay with it releasing today and all you and 2 buddies could hop in? Would you be happy with that? Do you think it needs to cook a little bit longer, another year, half a year? Please let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys next time.